Hello, viewers. Thank you for watching COHERINET TV. Welcome to the Pillow Talk Show, where we discuss sexual reproductive health rights issues affecting the youth, the women, and the men in the country. And your host, my name is Nale Fiona. Today in the studio, I have two guests with me. Before we start our topic for discussion, I would like or request them to introduce themselves to you. Hello.
Hello.
You're most welcome to COHERINET TV.
Thank you for hosting us.
Thank you. Our viewers out there would like to know who are you, what do you do for a living, and where are you coming from?
Okay. My name is Letitia. I come from Nansana and I'm an accountant.
An accountant. You know, when we are still young, we used to be like, I want to be an accountant. I want to be a lawyer because we had reasons as to why. And an accountant, we know those people, they deal with, of course, money. And since we are in a broken economy, I think by the end of this session, my wallet will be okay.
We were told to put money into circulation. So, yes, your wallet might have some money
Wow.
so that the economy can stabilize.
Wow. So after here, I'm going to have an outing. Hello.
Hi,
You're most welcome.
thank you.
Our viewers would like to know the handsome gentleman in the building. Who are you? What do you do for a living? And where do you come from?
Oh, pretty to call me handsome. My name is Richard. I come from Namasua. I'm an employed youth.
Unemployed youth, but the way he's looking, his skin is so glittering. How do you do it?
Just by God's grace.
Chisacha Mukama. We should also depend on Chisacha Mukama because we also want to have that glittering face. We'll be nice looking. Unemployed youth. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Our topic for discussion today, we would like to talk about who do you think young people, especially young girls, should talk to concerning the questions of pregnancy. Because in this era, we see many young girls engaging into sexual activities. They're pressured by their friends and other factors. So they're like, maybe I can give a try to have an experience. How does it look like when I'm having sex? Or how do I feel when I'm having sex? But at the end of it, they find themselves that they've conceived unintended pregnancies. I went there, but I didn't expect to get pregnant. But right now I'm pregnant. So who do you think that person should talk to concerning issues of pregnancy? Letitia.
I think under normal circumstances, the first person that a child would have to talk to would be their immediate family members. So that would mean their mother, their father, or maybe their siblings, their sisters or brothers. The people that are really close to them would be the first people they would have to talk to because if this person is going to conceive, if they're going to produce this child, they would need the support from their family members. So I think family would be the first.
Do you think being close to the family can make me talk to that person very close? For example, a mother. Do you think she's my mother, should I talk to her? There is being a parent, but we have no friendship. I don't talk to you. I just see you as a mother. Maybe you come back. I greet you. Welcome back. Hey, how has been that day? Such. I go to my room. The mother also goes to her room. Then the day goes by. Till tomorrow, it's the same story every day. So do you think I can really talk to my parent on the issue of pregnancy?
It will really depend. If you have a very good connection with your parent or your mother, and you have discussed previously about matters concerning sex, you would talk to them freely. But 90% chances are, in a community, in a setting, we do not have the opportunity to talk to our parents about matters concerning sex. So that is where some of the problems arise from. Yes.
Richard.
I wanted to ask Madam Retisha. She said parents should provide support for these girls in sex. So I was like, is it a financial support? Is it what? Which kind of support can the parents offer for their young children in terms of sex?
I believe what parents should offer is the education. They should educate their children about sex.
And we believe because they know a lot than us.
Yes, because these people have gone through this phase. So I think they would be in a position to maybe come and tell me, you see, Letitia, if you engage with a boy, this and this is what is going to happen. And if this and this happens, what are you supposed to do? So they are supposed to guide us, to guide their children into what they have to do.
But that goes back to the parent whom you're close to or the parent who isn't shy, because we have parents who are shy.
Me, I totally disagree with the talking to parents in topics related to sex in young people. Why? We have grown up in families whereby the parents are so brutal. They are so, should I call it courage? They are so not friendly.
Just a mere fact, a parent seeing you standing with a boy, he or she will call you, Fiona, come here. What were you doing with that boy? What was he telling you?
So, in such an environment, there is no way a young girl, or I personally recommend a girl to go to talk to her parents, talk to her about sex, no? Totally, I disagree with that. Maybe I can refer to other, maybe go to a friend. Yeah.
Which friend? Because if I look at the friends we are having, assume I'm 16 years old, and all the friends the friends surrounding me are 16 or below 16. Even maybe there is someone who is above my age, but that friend of mine, I don't think she's so having knowledge on pregnancy. So
Well, we are in an environment, or we are in a world whereby we may be at the same age, but the reasoning capacity is different. So I believe I may be having a friend which is more informed, as in has more information on such maybe sex. Yeah, I believe in that. Maybe a friend can be having more information better than me, that can give me an advice to do what to do. Yes.
So for you, you think if I get pregnant, I should run to my friend who is knowledgeable?
Probably, I think, yes, a friend is okay. But on the issue of the parent, we have grown up in families whereby a parent tells you, ogeza n'olufuna ngenda kutta. Ostegera. So there's no way I can face my parent in such cases like I'm having a pregnant. No. I cannot accept. I cannot recommend any girl.
So
to
for
a
you,
friend.
you recommend the girls to run to their friend?
At least to try out a friend.
Try out a friend.
Yes.
But you know, I believe friends literally have no idea, because remember, we are in the same age bracket. The access that I have to information is the same access that a 16-year-old has to information. That means we all know little. Like if it's a quantity on a 20-liter jerrycan, we all have 5 liters.
But Letitia, to take you back, in this era we are in, you find that these town grown up kids, they're having access to phones, internet 24/7. And then there is also that girl of the same age who is living in that deep down in the village, but has no access to phone. But the difference is that this one is more informed than the other one. So I guess at least there is a difference in knowledge gap.
And another thing, maybe, another thing, I may be referring to a friend who has ever experienced such a scenario. For example, maybe my friend has ever conceived. I know she has ever conceived. Maybe I don't know how she handled that situation, but she's now living well. So I have to ask her, how did you manage that?
But are you sure that this person will be very close to tell you that, you know what, I conceived, then I did this and this?
If she's my friend and I know her history that she has ever conceived, probably she will have
So
to
you hijack her because of that history?
Yeah, she has to tell me to share the information.
This topic is really so interesting. Let's go for a short commercial break. We shall be right back. Welcome back from that short break. This is the Pillow Talk Show, and we are proudly sponsored by Antikaki, a reproductive health toll-free helpline every person should look for on all issues concerning sexual reproductive health and rights. Before we went for a short break, we were still discussing on a topic: who should the young girls run to if they're having questions concerning pregnancy? And right now, I would like to question our handsome unemployed youth, Mr. Richard. Assume your sister gets to know that she's pregnant. Who would you recommend her to talk to? Maybe at home, maybe if she's studying at school or in the community. Who do you think is the best person your sister should talk to that will really help her?
Well, if it happens that my sister is conceived and she's seeking for knowledge or information on pregnancy, probably there are many sources whereby I can recommend her to go to seek for information. If I'm to prioritize, I will say in the world we are living right now, it's full of social medias and maybe should I call it technologies.
.com era.
It's a .com era, whereby you can go on Google and search on possible sources. Like you can ask Google, how can I carry my pregnancy to term? How can I handle my pregnancy? How can I, in case maybe she doesn't want to keep the pregnancy, how can I abort this pregnancy? Probably get the information.
All that on Google. Hey.
Yeah, these sources are there on Google. Yeah, they provide such information on how to terminate a pregnancy, how to look after the pregnancy if at all she wants to keep it, and other things. But other sources where I can recommend her, maybe you can try out to go to a health facility. Should go and look for technical persons, maybe the health care providers, ask her on how she can manage the pregnancy.
I have a question there, Mr. Richard. You've talked about the healthcare providers in facilities. We've heard of scenarios, young ladies, especially those maybe who are in school, then she finds out that she has conceived. She tries to reach out to those healthcare providers, seeking guidance that maybe I've got pregnant, but then I want to continue with studies. What can I do? But the welcoming, the reception you get at that for the first time. Yes. Yeah. Reaching there, remember you're in school uniform. First of all, she will say, what are you doing here? What have you come to do? Huh? Did you also date? Meaning sex. Yeah. So the welcoming remarks the healthcare providers give to these young people, they push them or they take them into depression, thinking other things of doing. Maybe I'll be like, if I'm thinking of aborting, let me go and do unsafe abortion because I will not manage to do it in a healthy facility. So if you're talking about the healthcare providers being the first people we should talk to,
Okay.
Why?
Okay. Ideally, we know they are the technical people who can handle the pregnancy because they went to school and learned medicine and learned on how to manage such cases. However, it is true, I don't know whether it is the law that governs such cases in the country that drives them to give you that impression of harassing the maybe why did you conceive, why did you
They have personal beliefs. You know, for example, I might be a Christian, and as a Christian, we do not believe, we do not accept someone to abort. That is killing. And then I forget that already I'm working, or I'm supposed to help this person, and then I bring out my personal belief. I start judging this young girl.
Probably what I can request maybe from the government right now, it is to talk to with is it orienting, is it capacity building these health care providers to nurture them that if such a client comes and asks for such a service, don't chase her or don't maybe negatively talk to her, okay? Because I can give you an example. I have a friend who is a medical worker. This medical worker, of course, he has ever told me girls come to her facility asking for abortion care services. However, I asked, do you work on them? And he was like, no, because the law doesn't allow me to do so. Then what do? I refer them to other facilities. I tell them go to other facilities. When they go to other facilities, some help them, some don't, whereby some may go and try out to other unsafe ways. For example, some people use local herbs. Yeah, whereby you may even find a girl getting problems with such local herbs, maybe overbleeding, over what.
Imagine losing life because of someone personal beliefs.
So that's where I, as a person, was like, you know what? If possible, the government or the maybe some people who should I say the people who are in charge of such service provision, they should talk to these healthcare providers, or they should streamline, or they should place centers whereby such girls who have got unwanted pregnancies can go and seek for help, because people have lost their lives. That's the fact. Yeah.
So
Maybe I have an interesting example. I was in school. One of our classmates. Do you remember the COVID period?
yeah, I remember very well.
This girl, we were there on news, and we were like, do you know what? Kelea has died, and the reason was he was trying to terminate a pregnancy.
What?
Yeah, you can go on the news. Kelea died because of what? Terminating a pregnancy. Yeah.
So what was the?
It left me. I was like, why we should do such
You didn't get deep into the story to know what really made her to terminate or what caused her death.
All the news was like, of course, by the time we left his school, they told us, you go home, it is now COVID period. You remember they closed the schools. So this girl, Claire, went with her boyfriend. When the boyfriend is home. So from there, maybe she conceived from then. Then the boyfriend tried to get some medicine. I don't know whether he got them from the healthcare providers or he got them from, I don't know whether they were local herbs.
You know, we have these quacks. Those people, they pretend to know a lot. You go there to seek guidance because of money. They'll give you whatever you want. But forgetting at the end of it all, something bad will happen.
True. So that's how Claire's life was.
That's how Claire lost her life.
Yes.
You've talked about organizations. You know, in the community where we're living, we hear many different organizations coming out to help educate or inform young girls, the women and the men on different issues. For example, we've been hearing COHERINET. COHERINET has been coming out to educate in schools, in the community, everywhere. Still even reaching to the different stakeholders, those we call the big people, the DHOs, the cows. We've been reaching out to them, educating and letting them know about different issues concerning sexual reproductive health, pregnancy, family planning, whatsoever, and concerning body autonomy. So Letitia, I'm back to you. Richard had talked about using Google, the social media platforms. Do you think the social media platforms can be trusted for the young girls to seek maybe guidance concerning pregnancies?
Yes, there's a lot of information on social media that these young girls can access. However, it is not restricted. And these young ladies do not know what exactly the right information they need, because they will give you so much information. You have to pick for yourself. You have to choose. This is where they need a well-informed person to come through for them and tell them, you know what, okay, you found out this and this and this, but this is the right thing to do. This is what will help you out. And now this brings us back to our doctors. These people swore, they took an oath to save lives. But are they really saving the lives?
They really even take oath.
Yes.
Hey.
Doctors take an oath. They have to save lives. That is an oath. Just like how a lawyer will take an oath. Or maybe just like how you will go to court and you have to take an oath. You have to swear to speak the truth. This is the same way doctors do it. They take an oath to save lives. So if a child comes to you and they want such services, or maybe they have done an abortion and they need post-abortion care, how do you assist them? Instead of harassing them, help them save a life because you took an oath. So social media will give you the information, will give these young ladies the information that they think they need, but it will not give them a conclusive opinion or a conclusive solution. It will just give them hints. You can do this, you can do that. Because these young girls could even get like 5 kinds of drugs from Google. And they will test all of them. Now what will happen when they use multiple drugs?
Of course, different consequences, maybe death, bleeding, and so many others.
Absolutely. So the access we have to the internet is well appreciated, but we need to have at least maybe like a chat bot in there where someone can go to a specific area, maybe in the chat, and ask, if I use this, what will happen? Then maybe someone can explain to them, you know. Or maybe if we had like an organization that had that chat booth, or when you search about that organization on Google, or when you search about organizations that provide sexual reproductive health services, you get to tap onto that and then chat with someone. This person will not get to know me, and I also won't get to know them. Maybe
How sure am I that my information will be safe with that person?
I think it would be safe because they don't have to ask for your name. No one will know if I don't mention my name, and my voice is not out there and my face is not out there. People will not know that it is me.
Because why that? We've been seeing some examples in maybe newspapers, on social medias, some people using other people's names and the information, maybe my voices, if I recorded that, you know what, Letitia, I got a problem, I conceived, but I want to continue with my studies, you know, what can I do? Then that person I trusted goes ahead and links my information to the public. So how sure am I that maybe these chat boots you're talking about, they're safe?
They can only be safe if they are from a facility, a trusted entity, yes, a trusted source, a trusted organization, or a trusted healthcare facility. That is the only way they would be safe. Because if an organization came out and disclosed my information, remember there are privacy clauses that are attached to every chat. So if these people come out and mention, and my chat circulates, I think maybe. But now, these young girls don't even have access to the law. They don't even have support from any lawyer.
On addition to what Letitia said, she talked about chat boxes. So these should I call them?
The social media platforms.
Like a Google, because we should talked about Google giving inaccurate information. So, like it gives accurate information, however, it is hard for a girl to choose on what she has to use, because it is always from different
they
sources.
give different sources, so it's very hard to know which is safe for me.
Yeah.
Which should I use?
True. For example, maybe I can give a scenario whereby I had a friend, she had an inquiry on pregnancy. So she told me what she did. She went on Google, she searched on where she can get such an information. Then she landed on a safe to choose website. So this safe to choose website had a chat box, like she said. This chat box, they interacted with the, maybe is it like a person replying to it, or I don't know, but she told me they interacted with her. So maybe at the end they referred her, since she was in Uganda, they referred her to an Aunt Kaki. So like Aunt Kaki also is in Uganda, so she could also provide more information on
So
what
is Aunt Kaki also a digital platform, or she didn't really explain to you what Aunt Kaki is?
she just told me they gave her Aunt Kaki, which were toll-free numbers, for more information on what she was asking the chatbot. Yeah, yes.
Wow. As we are coming to the end of our show, I would like to request Letitia and Richard, which advice would you give young people out there? I know this show isn't watched only by young people, but also adult people, the mothers, the fathers, the aunties, everyone. So which advice would you give those people concerning on our topic of discussion we've had? Who do you think the young people should run to on the issues concerning pregnancy? Because we've talked about trust issues. Parents that aren't close to their children, the guardians, so there is no way you're thinking Fiona is going to come to you to ask you, Mom, you know what? I think I'm pregnant. What can I do? When you aren't my friend. So what kind of advice would you like to give to those young people, the parents and everyone out there concerning pregnancy?
Thank you very much. I will start with the parents. I believe we as parents, we need to create a conducive environment for our children. We need to be supportive in all ways, despite how big the situation is. We need to create a safe space for them. So just in case this child has a problem, they can run back to us. And also, as the community, we need to have organizations and people that step forward to educate the community on what exactly they are supposed to do in case the youth face such challenges. Because if the community is educated, they can be able to pass on this information onto these children. But we are living in a community that is we will still say it's like ATS. Yes, we are still living in the traditional means. So if we're still living in the traditional ways, we still have we have an inferiority complex. We are inferior to some of this information. So the more we educate the community, is the more we are going to be able to put out this information across, and very many young people will be able to be helped. And also to the young girls and young boys, because it takes two to get a girl pregnant. They should always, just like he mentioned, the anti-kaki, they should look out for those particular organizations or health facilities that offer access to those stigma-free services, because it is very important for them to get a person that is a professional, a person that knows what to do, so that they do not get problems in case they make a decision. Yes.
Parents, you've heard. I don't want to repeat what they've already said. So, Mr. Richard, I want you to talk to the fellow men out there, the young boys and our fathers. You know, sometimes, actually, in this generation right now, we've heard of homes where fathers are the only parents. Maybe the mom died or the mother divorced, but it's only the dad taking care of the young daughters or the young boys in the house. So I want you to advise those fathers out there. If Fiona comes to you and I want to talk to my dad, Dad, you know what? I got pregnant. I do not want to hear maybe my dad chasing me away, because we've heard of these fathers. If you happen to get pregnant in my home, you're either going to the village or you're leaving my home. For me here, there are no girls who are supposed to get pregnant if you're not yet married. So what advice are you giving to our parents? Because it's them we trust, and as we children, we always run to the parents. But there's no way we can run to them when they are brutal, they are harsh to us. So we want that advice that will make these people really think that these people, their issues matter if they utter out to them?
Well, I would say young people have a right to information. And before even we consider the parents, because you may find even them, some of them have less information, have less knowledge on pregnancy issues. So even for them, they found out that they conceived maybe at their early ages. So a girl getting pregnant at an early age, yes, as a parent, it will do what? Should I say
It will shock them, but still they'll be like, I already expected
I
that.
also did that. So probably I think the best way it is we should start with the schools. Because most of the times these young girls and boys spend more of their times in school, educating them on sexual reproductive health, giving them knowledge on how to prevent unwanted pregnancies, giving them knowledge on how to do what, to not to tamper with doing an abortion without a guided consent or a guided health care provider. So what do I mean? Education should start from schools. So even the parents who have got knowledge on sexual reproductive health should provide a conducive environment for these young girls to talk to them as like, you know what, this is what you have to do, this is not what you have this is not what you have to do. Okay.
Most of the time these days, children spend most of their times in school than when in homes. They come back during the holidays, like for 2 weeks, 1 week, then they go back to school. But this is a humble request to all the school administrators there, that if people come to you, maybe different organizations, we've heard of COHERINET coming requesting for permissions to engage with the students on educating or empowering them with information on sexual reproductive health and rights. Please grant them the chances, because we do not want to lose these young girls when they're still young. Others, they end up becoming street children, early mothers into marriages. So we request that if these people come to you, kindly welcome them so that they could empower the students in your schools out there. Our show is sponsored by Antikaki. It is a toll-free helpline. All issues concerning sexual reproductive health and rights, you should trust them. Do not hesitate.